We're talking about the crop markets now with Dr. John Michael Riley, our OSU agricultural economist. And John Michael, let's start things off with corn today and kind of what's been going on the last few months, kind of some context for producers.
Absolutely. Continuing to be seldom have I come in with great news on these reports, and I wish that wasn't the case. I will say with regard to corn, it is one of the rosier crops that we are going to discuss today, and since that August report where a lot of just unfortunate news came out with many more acres than was expected, a higher yield than expected. Since then, the market has rebounded quite a bit. A lot of that has to do with, the acres are still there, we think, but a lot of that has to do with dryness that's kind of just starting to take over throughout most of the Corn Belt. That's typical this time of year, but it is becoming more dry, and we're starting to recognize that maybe the yield is not what it was back in July when we were making those early projections. So that has really helped rebound the market some. We are getting some positive news on the trade front with regard to corn, and that has helped lift prices. But unfortunately, we're still on the futures market in a low fours. Here in Oklahoma, that number's still starting with a 3. So whether you're 350, maybe up to 375, 380, not prices that our producers want to be harvesting in. Right now, as of the most recent report, Oklahoma's at 60% harvested, and just not a market you really want to be harvesting into. If you think back to planting when prices were stronger, maybe you had some producers that were able to price some of their crop at that time. Even then, it was razor-thin margins, and it's only eroded since. So certainly, while a rosier of some of our other summer crops, not the picture that we really want with regard to corn here in Oklahoma.
Let's talk about soybeans now too, and the market there really facing some troubles and some true challenges.
It is, and one of the biggest challenges right now is on the trade front. And so I'll use a bit of a terrible analogy, but as we're approaching Thanksgiving and we can think about, it's time to start thinking about pies. So maybe we've got the Aunt Betty and Uncle Sam that bring pies to the Thanksgiving dinner each year, and there's some friendly competition. Certainly, we're still got those pies are still there, and Cousin Charlie really loves pies. Right now, going after Aunt Betty's pretty heavily, but still, Uncle Sam has the pie, and there are plenty of people at the Thanksgiving dinner that want to eat pie. So we're still seeing some positive trade news with regard to soybeans. We're just missing out on Cousin Charlie and them coming in and eating Uncle Sam's pies. The other caveat to think about here is the fact that Aunt Betty is still is not just bringing one pie. She's starting to bring more pies to the Thanksgiving dinner. So that is something that maybe is more futuristic in terms of how that's going to impact things. But certainly some challenges are going to be there. Soybean trade right now is missing out on China. We still have no trade that's been developed for current crop or the new crop soybeans, no trade there with regard to China. We're still seeing other trade partners come in and pick up some of our beans, but Brazil is really kind of eating into some of that China trade.
Do we think some of these markets are going to open up, or we don't know yet?
We still don't know, and I would argue we're not giving up on development of some of those markets, or not necessarily development, but reinitiating some of that trade. But again, the good news is we're still finding places for our beans to go. It's just not as strong of a trade market as what we typically experience with harvest starting.
Before we wind down, we of course want to cover wheat and cotton. What's the scenario there?
Well, in Oklahoma, we're 33% planted right now, and markets aren't that great for wheat. And so we're planting into a market that really has some challenges in front of our wheat producers. So right now, I think the question for many of our wheat producers is, are we planting this for grain or are we planting this for grazing? Most Oklahoma producers plant for grazing. The positive side of that is the cattle markets still look very strong. So that is a little bit of what we're facing as we are in the midst of planting. We've gotten some rains here recently across portions of Oklahoma, and so maybe that is going to help the crop overall. But still a long way to go for that one, but the markets still continue to be a bit of a headwind.
As we wind down, we want to also cover cotton.
So cotton producers still at no harvest as of right now, so that'll be starting here in the next week or three. But markets really tanked early in the week. Really hard to find a reason there. I guess my overall take at this point is probably points to broader economic news that's coming in. Certainly, with regard to always tied to oil prices into the dollar, and both of those did struggle a little bit as that market started to dip, and most likely the reasoning behind that big dip. So cotton producers, much like everyone else, is just waiting, hoping for some higher prices.
All right, John Michael, thanks for all the analysis, and we will see you again soon.